Peace, family. This is Kyrie Armstead with another Naturell Conversation. This is an environment focused and entertained by peace, positivity, love, abundance. The Naturell Conversation. This is a place where I speak about whatever the topic is of the day that may help enlighten others, plant the seed of positivity and peace. You can find me on all social media platforms at World Peace Ree. I have another account, World Peace Hoops, where I do my training. Eventually, we'll grow that into a basketball academy, basketball camps, maybe even an AAU team in the future. With that as well, I'm Naturell, which is my mental health focused business. My mental health focused business, where I post again enlightening clips, content regarding, the nature of things and how when you walk in that path of nature and live in alignment with God or the universe or the earth, it helps your mental health, it helps your longevity, it helps your long-term health. Today, for our Naturell Conversation, as always, protect your peace, breathe deeply, and be present in this moment with us here. I just got done with the at-home workout. It was really good. Can't see it, but I got some weights with me. Nothing too crazy, just getting out in the sun, working out, taking care of my body. But today's conversation will be regarding around anxiety and how I beat, cured, whatever, how I beat anxiety. Step one was, for me, the realization that Kyrie, was living my reality based on the perception of others. So how others perceived Kyrie is how I perceived myself. So I didn't have a true definition of who Kyrie was, what Kyrie did. And again, I've always been a basketball player. I've always had this identity through basketball. And, once that is stripped away from you, you realize how vulnerable you really can be. And so I realized I was living in the fear of how others perceive me, and that is a big thing of what anxiety is for us. Another thing is I journal a lot. Journaling is one of my big things. One of the big things I've do that changed how I lived my life, how my identity changed, and how I just became more properly aligned with Kyrie or who God called me to be. With that, I shared my journal entries, or I made journal entries, and I would always say, like, man, once I pass, I hope these get shared to others, or I want somebody to share my journal entry with people so they see who Kyrie was or what Kyrie wanted for the world. Great intention, but also the wrong intention. I want to wait until after I'm gone until I share my message or share my truth or share my perspective that may help, you or someone that you will help, that you will meet, that you have now learned from me, that you plant the seed with them. And so that is the ripple effect. That is my brand. That is what Kyrie's purpose is creating a ripple effect of peace and positivity. And so I started sharing my journal entries, which is, again, another vulnerable thing. And that is one of the keys to beating anxiety, is being vulnerable, stripping your ego away and seeing who you are beyond the facade or the mask you put on. And I shared my journal entries. It's about meditation, why I love it, journaling, thoughts of the day. And I got great feedback and support from friends, followers, men, women, everybody supported the journal entries. They loved it. It inspired them to journal. It inspired them to be vulnerable. It inspired them to talk about mental health, especially from a rah-rah basketball guy. That may be perceived as whatever you may think of a light-skinned hooper. You know what I mean? I think I beat that identity that people wanted to place on me, because I know I'm more than that. And so I started sharing my journal entries, and I had great feedback. And people would tell me, how much it impacted them. And some of these people lost family members at a young age, or recently lost family members, and they told me, like, I inspired them to keep on their health journey, to start going to the gym, to start eating healthier. And to hear that from someone that is blessed and has both parents still married, have a brother, have family around me, I couldn't imagine the pain that would come with the loss. And so to hear that from people that experienced this, saying that I made an impact on them, Obviously shifted my confidence level, shifted my anxiety into a place of knowing that sharing whatever you may have on your heart is what creates change for people. And so that is why creation and creativity is so important rather than consuming. So being vulnerable and sharing my journey. One of my favorite quotes I love to say on the Naturell Conversation is, embracing imperfection is perfection. My belief, because we have flaws, we are all flawed, and whatever you believe in, you know what I'm saying, it's going to tell you, we know you're going to fall short. You are going to sin. You're going to fall to temptation. You're going to get angry. You're going to have all these vices. You're going to want to do stuff. You're going to want to lust. You're going to want to smoke. You're going to want to drink. You want to go out. That's the battle that we always feel between flesh and spirit, the yin and yang between it all, you know what I mean? And so I lost my train of thought of where I was going with that, but yeah, to me, embracing imperfect. We're all flawed. None of us are perfect, and that's what that facade is that we put on is, I understand it, I get it, I know what I'm doing, I know how to operate. No, we're all, today is Monday, tomorrow's gonna be Tuesday, but I want you to know it's a day that no one in this world has experienced. This is a new day for everybody in the universe. Everybody, every animal, every tree, this day has never been experienced. And a lot of times, just because it's the system that we're confined by based on numbers, days, dates, it's a whole new day in the universe. We're all trying to figure it out. No one's perfect, no one understands it. And so embracing my flaws and embracing my imperfection, embracing my insecurities, and knowing that's what I have, that's my flaw. And sometimes I'm the one harping on it and people don't even notice it, but it's just how I see myself. And so I told myself that, I wrote it on the mirror. It was an affirmation for me daily to embrace my flaws, and embracing imperfection is perfection. And so knowing I'm a stutter, knowing I'm gonna mess up on my lines or lose my train of thought, it's okay. That's the journey. Not everything is gonna be a smooth path. And so that's another thing that helped me beat anxiety, is knowing I'm like exactly where I'm supposed to be. God is always guiding me. One of my favorite photos is somebody's looking through a microscope, telescope, whatever, and they're just like, man, God's nowhere to be found. He's so far away. But God was so close. Let me give you a visual. So they're like looking for God, right? And they're like, God's nowhere near. But God is right here. You know what I mean? But they're looking through the telescope and they're on his belly. And they think he's nowhere to be found, but he's so close. So God is always guiding us. And it's really, to me, I'm a black and white person, but I'm always in the middle, which is funny to say because there's really only two options. It's head or tails, it's yes or no, it's good or bad. You know what I mean? And I understand both perspectives really well, and that's what helps me be an empath, but also know what I need to do and not get so tangled up with what's going on in the world, because those are distractions. Those are things limiting me from going about my day and living in peace and being distracted and worried about other things that I have no control over. But right now I do have control over the negativity in the world, because this is the nugget. This is the seed that I'm planting and watering, that is nurturing the environment around us. So beating anxiety for me was embracing who Kyrie was, beyond sports, beyond a job, beyond an Instagram, beyond a follower, beyond whatever. Kyrie at his true essence, my Naturell essence is my business, Naturell. What is Kyrie at my nature? And kind of identifying who that is. What are your goals? What's your purpose? What's your North Star? What keeps you going? What inspires you? What motivates you? Who inspires you? All these little things, those are seeds that help you navigate your path. Educating myself is another way to beat anxiety. Educate yourself. I love reading. I love meditating. That's another way of education, to silence yourself and just, what's on my mind today? How am I feeling today? Where is tension within me today? Those are all things that really help you. So one of my favorite books, it's a complex book. It's one of the first books I ever bought, and I was not ready to read it. I remember opening it up. It's Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. A great book. I've read it twice now on my third read. It's about quantum physics. Quantum physics is about the infinite and minute details, the subatomic particles that make everything. So we're all made of energy. We're all made of the same subatomic particles that stack on top of each other to make this, to make this, to make that, to make everything. So another way to explain how quantum physics works, there's past, there's the present, and then there's the future. If I have a problem now in the future, and I know I'll have it solved, if I have a problem now in this present moment and I know I'm gonna have it solved in the future, guess what? That problem is solved now. So I don't need to worry about it because it's already solved in the future. I already know I'm gonna take care of it. It's solved now. All the things that we worry about in the future. Anxiety is just, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. I have stress and anxiety, again, broken down simply is what we try to do here on the Naturell Conversation, is the fact that stress is when something is bent in a way it's not supposed to be bent. Anxiety, these things when you just have an overabundance of options, which we always have in today's time period, is this overabundance of options. We don't know which way to navigate. So, what are my options? What are my pros and cons? Boom, 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 boom. This is my path. But also knowing that whatever problems I may have in the future, I'm gonna take care of it. I'm nurturing it. I'm doing it. I'm solving it. Whatever problems I had in the past is already gone, and that's made me to who I am today. Whatever grievances I may have, I've accepted. That's what made me Kyrie. My scars I wear on my heart. I always say my heart is on my sleeve. And I used to be a double-edged sword until I learned how to control my passion. My passion sometimes came out as anger. My passion sometimes came out as crashing out. So now learning to reel that in and use my emotions as the power that they are and not let my emotions use me. Yeah, I still get angry. Yeah, I still get fiery, but directing my energy into a place that is controlled. So yeah, Dr. Joe Dispenza, that book changed my life. The Alchemist, another great book. The Four Agreements, another great book. And Four Agreements is something where you have it. To me, there's the Four Agreements that he has. Be impeccable with your word, because our word is magic. It's good magic or bad magic. I can bring you up or I can break you down. I can poison you. I can use alchemy to enhance your living with my words. And so with that, don't take things personally, because some people don't understand the magic behind their words. And so they might tear you down, but as long as you know that's their own reflection, this has nothing to do with you. Thirdly, is don't make assumptions. Ask questions. Don't assume that someone understands. Don't assume that someone's doing that because they're flawed. Ask a question. What's going on? How are you feeling? Why are you doing this? What is making you feel this way? Get to the root of the problem. Don't make an assumption. Understand the roots of people, because we are deep. Our roots are very deep. It's just like a tree. We see at the surface, there's so much below it. So don't judge a book by a cover. Don't make assumptions. And number 4 is always do your best. As long as you do your best, you can, for me at least, but do your best. Because as long as you do your best, you can hang your hat knowing you tried your hardest to pass your test, win the game, make every shot. You're not going to do it though. It's just, look at the laws of the universe. They show it. Nothing is perfect. Nothing is absolute. The only thing that is true and absolute is God and love. But that's the only thing that is consistent. And that's why I try to replicate. And I know I'm a vessel of God. And I'm reflecting His light right now. I'm living in my purpose, spreading a message to the people. So I can leave this last little nugget for this Naturell Conversation as: breathe deeply, protect your peace, peace and love. To beat anxiety, do not be worried about how others are perceiving you, because once you get to the end of the tunnel, you're going to realize that the light was within you the whole time, and you let others dim your light that was in you. So define yourself. This is what I'll leave you with. I want you to get out a journal, and I want you to write down, who am I? Who am I beyond the job? Who am I beyond the stress? Who am I beyond all these things that might be that you identify yourself as? And once you find yourself out, is what is your purpose? What is your nature? What is your true nature? And that's what Naturell is about. And I want you to embrace your natural light. I want you to try to put yourself out there. I want you to try to make some things happen for yourself. I don't want you to be worried. I want you to drop a comment in this and tell me what you think and how could I help you. I'm always available. Again, all my accounts, World Peace Ree. And world peace is an abstract goal, but as long as you are impacted by this message, you're going to impact another person. So share this with whoever we think may need this. And as always, peace, love, breathe deeply, and be natural.
Conductor.